Okay, good morning, Lime and G11 Marble. Actually, I have already sent you this lecture the previous week, but I just wanted to go back on this topic because I wanted to explain it to you further. I need you to understand this is very important simply because this is your specialized subject sa college. You call it your major subject na, di ba? So, I need you to understand better about this organization and management introduction. So, basically, you're not going to do an added activity for this. I just want you to watch. I just want you to understand. And I just want you to have a good grasp with regards to the introduction of organization and management. Please pardon me doon sa aking video. Medyo malabo yung madilim dito sa place kung saan ako nagre-record, and please bear with me. But I just need you to understand everything that concerns with regards to the introduction and management. Kasi to some of you, this is going to be very unfamiliar simply because this basically talks exclusively to the strand that you have enrolled in senior high school. Okay, so let's start. So you already did this activity. So on your answer sheet, sabi ko dyan, you need to answer the following. Why is it important ba to study management? So basically, it is always important to study management simply because you need, if you are going to become business owners or corporate leaders in the future, it is always important to have a background and knowledge on how you are going to handle everything. You need to handle people, you need to handle finances, you need to handle company resources. So you practically need to have all the possible all the possible knowledge that you may be able to have for you to be able to become good leaders or for you to become a good employee. And at the same time, if you wanted to become a business owner, you basically need to know everything that you must know with regards to handling the business. Okay, so that's practically the importance in studying management. Then the next would be I require you to list down five known leaders in Terasa that you look up to. Bakit? Kasi in your community, we always appreciate, kung meron man, we always appreciate good leaders, diba? And sometimes, when we see good leaders, we wanted to imitate them and basically become, not really become, but at least live by the example that they are setting. That is why I want you to list down. Kasi sana meron, even if it is a civic leader, a community leader, or a politician, at least we should always look into someone that we wanted to become or we wanted to imitate in the future if by the time we will become leaders. Okay? So the third one is that I need you to list down five political leaders that you admire. Ano ba? Bakit ninyo sila ina-admire? Is it simply because they are good in handling people, they are good in communicating, they are good in implementing certain projects, they are good in coming up with an ideas on how to make improve and advance actions for the improvement of the locality, diba? So that is very important if you are going to become leader. Kasi when we talk about being a leader, you are not a leader if you have a title, like for example account manager, a general manager, you have the title. Pero if you are coming to an office to perform the daily task and to simply continue what had been passed to you or what are expected out of you, then you are not actually leading, but you are actually just working. There is a difference between leading and simply working, di ba? Kasi if you are a leader, the innovations, the proposals of new ideas, the implementations of new ideas should come from the leader, di ba? So there is an entirely different concept with being a good leader and being an efficient employee. So magkaiba yon, okay? And then moving on, so sabi natin, what is management? So, there are two definition that I posted with regards to what is management. So, number one, it is the process daw of planning, organizing, leading, actually may isa pa yan, directing and controlling human and other organizational resources towards the effective achievement of an organizational goals. Hihimayin natin yan. So when we talk about the process of planning, organizing, leading, directing, and controlling, these are the primary functions of a manager. Diba? A manager. So, if you become a leader in an organization, the company resources, including the human resources, are actually entrusted to you. Paano mo pakikilusin, paano mo gagamitin so that you will be able to effectively achieve the organizational goals. What is the common organizational goals ba? When we say common organizational goals, we are basically referring to improve. Yun yung pinaka-common improve and high profitability. Dapat as a leader, you are able to ensure na mataas ang kita if it is a corporate or an income generating company ng kumpanya, di ba? Kasi kung hindi, then you are not an effective leader. Pero hindi porket kumikita ang kumpanya, you can be tagged as an effective leader, di ba? Bakit? Kasi ang sinasabi natin diyan, efficiently use the organizational resources. So ibig sabihin, kapag mas mababa yung nagagamit mong organizational resources, the pera, the manpower, the time, tapos mas mataas ang profitability mo, then practically, you are being a good leader. Now, if you are achieving a goal naman, pagkatapos, while achieving the goal, malaki naman yung gastos mo, then you are not being a good leader. Kasi, achieving the goal with very high expenses doesn't actually meet up the standards of what is a good leader. Diba? Dapat kasi we achieve the goal with the least and the very minimal resources usage. Diba? So the next is management is a process of coordinating and overseeing the work performance of individuals working together in an organization to effectively accomplish their chosen objectives. So basically, if you study management, number one, you coordinate. When you say coordinate, you talk with other people, you coordinate with other departments, and you oversee, meaning you supervise the work performances of your people. So dapat, if you are a leader, especially if you are a supervisor, and a department manager, always ensure na nakikita at alam mo kung paano magtrabaho yung mga tao mo. Diba? Bakit? Kasi when you do, you practically minimize the cost of operation. Diba? Bakit? Kasi ganito yan. Halimbawa, meron tayong mga tao. Yung mga tao natin na na-expect natin na magtatrabaho sila, ginagawa naman nila. Pero, there is always a difference between ginagawa ang trabaho religiously at ginagawa ang trabaho efficiently. Diba? Bakit? Kasi if you are working at ginagawa mo yung araw-araw, like for example, kailangan mong gumawa ng 5 memo as a secretary, for example, kailangan mong gumawa ng 5 memo at i-deliver ito sa respective department and concerned people within a day. Nagawa mo hanggang from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., are you a good employee? Diba? Question nyo. Diba? Pero, kung ikaw ay isang empleyado at leader, sinabihan mo si employee, I need you to create a memo and I need that 5 memos and I need you to deliver that to the respective and concerned people and I need that done by sabihin natin 11 a.m. Sinabi mo sa kanya 8 a.m. Pag nagawa ni empleyado yan ng 11 a.m., ibig sabihin, the other remaining time will be devoted and dedicated in accomplishing other tasks. Diba? Magkaiba sila ng performance ni secretary Yung una nating example na si secretary, ginawa siya between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. But the thing is, pareho nilang natapos ang kanilang trabaho. Diba? So, there is a difference in supervising inefficient and effective employees and an employee who just perform their daily routine. Okay? So I hope you understand that. And if you have questions, you are always welcome to ask me on RGC. Okay? So moving on, sana lahat nag-move on. So let's move on with the functions of management. So ang sabi dito, the management functions include planning, organizing, staffing, leading, or directing and controlling an organization. It is a group of one or more people or entities or effort for the purpose of accomplishing goals. So, management function is basically a leader functions na ano-ano yung pinaka-importante yan. Planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and directing. We're going to discuss it in details later. Directing and controlling. So, a manager or a leader of an organization is composed by a group of one, isang grupo, isang entity, or several groups and entities of a business organization. Bakit sila nasa isang grupo? Because they wanted to accomplish one goal. Okay? Ano yung goal na yon? Ultimately, sa isang corporate organization, sa isang income-generating companies, it's always profitability. Di ba? Profitability. Pero sa ibang kumpanya, they are not after with profit naman. They are after with the service. But depende pa rin yan sa nature ng kumpanya at yung dahilan kung bakit nag-i-exist ang isang organization. Okay? So, planning. Unahin natin si planning. Planning refers to deciding on an organizational goals and strategies like defining the goals, establishing strategies, and developing sub-plans to choose alternatives and coordinate activities. Pag sinabi natin planning, plano. Pero pag nagplano tayo, hindi lang yung pagpaplano na kagaya ng ginagawa natin on a daily basis na I plan to go to school by tomorrow and pick up my module. That technically is a plan. Okay? Pero ang sabi, if you are a leader, you need to decide on the organization goals. Okay? So, example tayo. May hawak akong 10,000. 10,000. Yung 10,000, that is going to be my last money na. And nothing else is coming through my way except for the 10,000. Now, I need to decide what should I do with my 10,000. Do I spend it with the things that I need and the things that are lacking right now? Okay, kailangan ko ng bigas, kailangan ko ng ulam, kailangan ko ng gatas, kailangan ko ng asin, etc. Okay, that could be a plan. Okay, I can actually allocate my 10,000 for that. Or, pwede ba na si 10,000 ko para hindi siya maubos, I magnify and I multiply the money by engaging into business. Pwede ba yon? So, what is my goal? Ang goal ko is i-magnify yung aking 10,000 into higher amount. That is a goal and my plan is tumubo mula doon sa 10,000. Now, what are the strategies that I need to undertake? So, number one, anong business ang kailangan ko? There are several businesses na pwede kong pagpilian. Question is, gagaya ba ako? Gagayahin ko sila or mag-iiba ako ng konti? Like for example, maraming nagtitinda ng turon dito sa lugar namin. Pagtinda rin kaya ako ng turon, ipupuhunan ko si 10,000 pwede. Pwede yun, di ba? Pero ang question is, kung magtitinda ako ng turon at ipupuhunan ko si 10,000 at meron na akong 10 kakumpetensya, what happens doon sa aking posibleng kita? Posible mas maliit. Tama? O, gusto kong maiba. How do I do that? pwede ba kaya ako magtinda ng turon, lagyan ko kaya ng, ano bang magandang ilagay sa turon? Online to, hindi pwedeng kalokohan na ano. Example, si turon ko kaya ay lagyan ko ng, ano to, yung deep, magbibigay ako ng deep na kondensada. Pwede. Or si turon ko kaya ay bukod kay saging, paghaluin ko kaya si saging and kamote, baka magustuhan nila. Actually, crazy ideas in business are good, di ba? But some crazy ideas are just crazy ideas. Okay? Pwede. Sige. Bakit? Bakit ko ginagawa to? Kailangan ko kasing maging kakaiba mula sa aking mga competitor para yung mga bumibili, mas bibili sa akin. Those are strategies. Now, question is, meron na akong business idea, magtitinda ako ng turon, meron na rin akong niche, ibig sabihin yung lamang ko sa aking competitor. When we say niche, that is N-I-C-H-E, niche. Yung lamang ko sa iba, yung gagawin ko ng twist, yung aking produkto. So, paano ko gagawin to? Okay, magsisimula tayo. Kailangan ko ng pwesto saan? Saan yung mataong pwesto? Magkano? Saan ako mas makakamura? Kailangan ko ng mga ingredients, saan ako bibili? Yung frequency ng pagbili ko, gaano kabilis, and gaano ka-sustainable yung mga binibilhan ko na tuwing kailangan ko available. Yan. Hindi pwede kasi sa business na, ay wala po, hindi po available. Bakit? Aalisan ka ni customer mo. Di ba? And of course, if in case na kumikita ako, ano pa yung pwede kong ibenta kasama ni turon? Those are your alternatives. Or, baka naman pwedeng hindi turon. Baka naman pwedeng maging supplier na lang ako ng wrapper, maging supplier na lang ako ng banana, maging supplier ako ng asukal, mantika, para yung mga nagtitinda ng turon, sila ang customer ko. Those are your alternatives, and basically, that involves planning. Okay? Next. Ayaw lumipat. Ayan na. The next function of a manager is organizing. It ensures the tasks have been assigned and the structure of organizational relationship. Facilitates meeting goal like deciding where decisions will be made, who will do the job and task, and who will work for whom. So when we talk about organizing, you have your resources, hahanapin na natin at pagsasama-samahin sa isang lugar ang ating resources. Kailangan ko ng mga materials ko, may nabili na ako, dito ko sila ilalagay. Kailangan ko ng aking mga gamit, kailangan ko ng kalan, kailangan ko ng tangke, kailangan ko ng mesa, etc. Bibilhin ko na sila. Hindi ko kayang mag-isa kasi ang inaasahan ko ay 500 na customer kada araw. Kailangan ko ng tao. Anong klaseng tao ang kailangan ko? Dapat ba college graduate? Dapat ba high school graduate o pwede na ang elementary level basta marunong bumasa at magkwenta? Saan ko sila makikita? Anong klaseng tao? Babae, lalaki ba? Hanggang anong edad? Hahanapin ko sila and I am going to hire them. Now, nandiyan na, nag-hire ako ng 2 o 3 tao. Ano ang function ng kada isa? Hindi pwedeng si isa, lahat ay gagawin niya. Baka pwedeng i-divide natin ang trabaho. Yung isa, siya taga-balat, yung isa siya taga-roll, yung isa siya taga-prito, etc. You need to decide, you need to organize things. And then, may mga tao ako, may different functions sila. Pare-pareho ba sila na sweldo? Yun yung mga bagay na kailangan kong pagdesisyonan being a leader of a new organization or an existing organization. Okay? Next is staffing. Ito very important to kasi it is the filling up of different job position as needed in the organization's structure. Ang sinasabi lang natin dito is importante na yung tamang tao ay natalagay sa tamang posisyon. Teka lang, may nag-chat sa akin. Okay. Yung tamang tao na lalagay natin sa tamang posisyon. You may always hear with regards to mismatch of um, manpower in the Philippines versus the required qualifications of human resource in an organization. So like for example, graduate ako ng business administration pero nagtuturo ako. Dapat kasi as a graduate of business ad, nasa ano ako nasa opisina, doing corporate works. That's the ideal, di ba? Pero dahil career shifter ako, graduate ako ng business administration, nagtuturo ako. Career shifter, yeah. But technically, hindi siya match doon sa tinapos ko at doon sa klase ng trabaho na ginagawa ko, di ba? Ang importansya kasi ng pag-aano to ng job matching is that una, makakatipid kayo sa training. Pangalawa, sigurado kayo na yung taong iyon ay meron siyang technical knowledge on how to perform the duty, di ba? And then at the same time, you have an assurance that that person having a technical knowledge will be able to perform work independently. That is why very important yung pagpili ng tamang tao na ilalagay natin para gawin ang isang trabaho. Okay? Next is leading. This refers to the relating with others so that their work efforts achieve organizational goals by means of motivating and inspiring your fellow co-workers. This is actually a challenge sa lahat ng mga leaders kasi it is always important that you walk the talk, di ba? Ibig sabihin, dapat ikaw ang role model at the same time, ikaw ang sinusundan at nakakakita ng mga opportunities para sa grupo mo, di ba? At the same time, kung sa tingin mo, hindi nagfa-function ng maayos yung iyong mga worker, you as a leader is also tasked in motivating them. That is why there are several measures kung papaano ino-observe, ina-appraise yung ating mga empleyado. If you have mga kapamilya na sa tingin ninyo na nagtatrabaho sa corporate, then basically they are appraised, they are observed. Bakit? Tama pa ba ang ginagawa nila? Diba? Then, yung mga boss nila, sasabihan sila ano yung tama, or ipagpatuloy nila yung ginagawa nilang tama. Okay? And then, next would be controlling. So, it ensures actions are consistent with the organization's values and standards, monitoring progress towards goals achievement, and taking corrective action when needed. Ang pinakamahirap kasi sa pagiging leader is when you lose control doon sa iyong mga tao. Bakit? Kasi if hahayaan mo sila, bakit kailangan ba may 8 to 5 pa na schedule ng trabaho? Bakit kailangan magpaalam sa overtime? Bakit aprobahan ng boss mo yung overtime? Bakit kailangan na may deadline pa? Diba? Imagine, tatanggalin natin lahat yan. People will work as they please. Diba? Kapag hindi nyo tinitingnan yung mga tao, lalo na kapag sila ay mga pupukin, sometimes they don't work at all. Diba? And since they don't work at all, you are not going to achieve anything. Diba? So it is always to ensure and implement control within an organization so that hindi nasasayang ang pera ng kumpanya na ibinabayad sa mga taong to na hindi nagtatrabaho ng maayos. It is always important to ensure na nagtatrabaho sila ayon sa expectation ng kumpanya. Binabayaran sila sa panahon na yan, di ba? And yung overtime na na-mention natin kanina, importante yon. Hindi pwede na pabanching-banching sila ng 8 to 5 pagdating ng alas 5, magkukumahog sila sa trabaho and then magpa-file ng overtime. Anong ginawa mo between 8 to 5, di ba? Ang ginagawa ng iba is, ginagawa nilang hanap buhay and then bayad na sila ng 8 to 5, magpa-file ako ng overtime kasi hindi ko natapos between 8 to 5. So, ang nangyayari, tumataas ang cost ng bayad natin sa sweldo sa mga tao, 'di ba? Which is not very good. Sabi natin, we minimize the cost of operation. That is one checklist on how to become a good leader. So, importante ang control, importante ang pagdidisiplina ng mga tao mo within an organization. Okay, question? You can always ask me on RGC with regards to the things that I'm talking right now. So, activity 2, suppose daw that you are to establish a sari-sari store. How are you going to apply the functions of management? Sinagutan nyo na yan. Titingnan po yung mga gawa nyo. For your activity 3, you need to answer the following. Number 1, which among the functions of management is less important? Meron ba? And then, can you become an effective leader if you forgo? Hindi mo gagawin yung isa sa functions of management. Bakit or bakit hindi? So, let's move on to the management theories. Actually, there are several management theories. Panahon pa ni Kopong-Kopong, may management theories na, di ba? And some of the older management theories are still used with the present operations ng mga tao. Okay? I mean, ng mga kumpanya. So, management theories daw involve the improvement of work management methods from simple to more complex ones, which also focuses on customer satisfaction and the conduct of people at work. It helps us in understanding the beginning and present-day management practices, why some are no longer used and others still regarded with great approval. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. Yung mga practices, management practices noon, ginagawa pa rin yung iba ngayon. Yung iba, hindi na sila applicable sa panahon ngayon. Okay? And why the expansion and development of these theories are important to adjust to the changing times, and it includes the following. So, we have here, number 1, the scientific management theory that makes the use of procedural and scientific method by finding the single best way for doing a job. It is proposed by Frederick Taylor between 1856 and 1915. Actually, si Taylor ang isa sa mga father of management. Pag sinabi natin scientific management theory, tinitingnan natin yung procedural acceptability ng isang trabaho. Like for example, balik ulit tayo kay turon. Okay? Sa pag-produce ba ng turon, ano una natin gagawin? Siyempre, kailangan nating mamili ng ating mga produkto, mga ingredients. Okay? Pagkatapos, yung mga ingredients na yan, i-divide natin yan, sabihin natin, ang gagamitin lang natin ay 50 or 70% of it. Yun yung ilalagay natin sa working area, babalatan, huhugasan, at kung ano-ano pang procedure, di ba? Pag sinabi natin kasing scientific management theory, we follow certain steps in performing something. But the question is, we do not constantly follow things as it is if there are times na nakikita natin there are some better ways of doing things. Okay? It is always important kung may mapopropose kayo sa top management na mas maganda, mas madali, mas epektibo at mas cost-efficient na way of doing things. Diba? Bakit? Kasi scientific management theory basically talks about these things. Diba? What's more effective, what's the fastest, and what's more convenient for everyone. And at the same time, what's very cost-efficient that will benefit the company when it comes to finances, di ba? Yun lang yung gustong i-propose ni Frederick Taylor. Okay? So, meron tayong scientific management principles. We have here, actually alam ko 14 to 4 lang nandito. Okay. So, Number 1 daw, you need to develop a science for each element for an individual work to replace the old rule of thumb and method. So, if may nakikita ka na bagong proseso, actually, trabaho yan ng mga leader to come up with a process flow, with, process charts, kung papaano gagawin ang mga bagay-bagay at ang mga trabaho sa isang kumpanya. This will minimize yung mga pagdodoble. Halimbawa, dalawa kayo, kaunti lang naman ang kliyente ninyo, pero dalawa pa kayong gumagawa ng isang trabaho, di ba? So, tinatanggal namin yan. And basically, it is the duty of a leader to ensure na walang duplicity ng mga functions in an organization. Then, number 2, scientifically select and then train, teach, and develop the worker. Bakit? Hindi ibig sabihin na ang isa ay mahina sa ganon at ganito, lahat yan ay mahina na sa pagpe-perform ng trabaho. Ibig sabihin, kung yung sa 100 nating empleyado, 10 ang nangangailangan ng training, hindi natin ititrain yung 100. Yung 10 lang ang ititrain natin para mas mag-improve at maging effective silang team worker. And then, heartily cooperate with workers so as to ensure all works will be done in accordance with the principles of science that has been developed. So, ibig sabihin, when procedures and processes are in place, we need to make sure that these processes are evaluated, these processes are observed so that we will be able to identify the weakness of each processes. Okay? And then, division of work and responsibility equally between management and workers. When we talk about division of work, ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina. Lahat ng tao ay dapat nag-perform ng unique na trabaho sa isang kumpanya na siya lang yung responsible dito. Pwedeng 2 o 3 sila. Depende sa complexity ng organization. But basically, hindi dapat na yung isang trabaho ay kung sino-sino ang gumagawa. Pero para meron din tayong command responsibility. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ng problema sa ganito, siya ang ating tatanungin kung bakit. Hindi uso ang sisihan sa management, ha? Tatanungin lang natin ano ang nangyari so that we will be able to intervene at masolusyonan yung problema. Okay? So next is the general administrative theory. This makes up good management practice or execution and focuses on management function. The characters most commonly involved with the general administrative theory were Henry Fayol and Max Weber. So they are actually management proponents. Okay. Fayol concentrates on managerial activities because of his actual experience as a management director in a big coal mining company. He understood that management is an activity that all organizations must adapt and viewed it as distinct from all other organizational activities such as marketing, finance, research and development, and others. Importante kasi that we have good leaders who have good knowledge with regards to handling everything in an organization. That is why for Henry Fayol, it is always important that these managers are well equipped with knowledge and skills in performing their respective duties. Okay? And then, according to Weber naman, who is a German sociologist, it concentrates on authority, structures, and coordination with others, known as bureaucracy, and it's still used to until today's organization. On authority structure, ibig sabihin, kung supervisor ka, ito yung kapangyarihan mo, ito yung power mo, at ito yung responsibility mo. Kung ikaw ay department manager, hanggang dito ang iyong kapangyarihan, ang iyong responsibility to command other people. At kung ikaw naman ay presidente ng isang kumpanya, ito ang responsibilities mo, ito ang power mo, ito yung mga taong dapat sumusunod sa iyo. That is the proposal of Max Weber. So for your activity 4, between the scientific management theory and the general administrative theory, which do you believe is bound for greater success? Bahala kayo kung ano ang opinion niyo dyan. Okay? So, we have here Henry Fayol's management principles. Isa-isahin natin yan. So, number 1, work division or specialization. Importante raw na ang isang tao, sa isang organization, sa isang kumpanya, hinahati-hati yung trabaho. Bakit? It promotes specialization. Kasi kapag daw lagi mo nang ginagawa, gumagaling ka sa trabaho mo na iyon. Okay? So, next is the authority. Dapat daw pagtitiwalaan natin yung mga tao na gawin yung trabaho nila ayon sa kanilang kakayahan. Huwag naman yung lahat idinidikta mo sa kanila. Kasi with that, nagkakaroon sila ng pakiramdam na importante yung ginagawa nila sa kumpanya. And then next is to promote discipline. Ibig sabihin, since they are paid, they are bound to act according to the company's expectation lang. So, hindi tayo gagawa, magsasalita, kikilos ng hindi inaasahan or taliwas sa inaasahan ng kumpanya. Next, unity of command. Ito, pag sinabi natin unity of command, dapat mula kay top manager, pababa kay supervisor, iisa ang directive nila. Hindi pwedeng magkakaiba sila ng sinasabi kasi yung mga taong susunod, magkakaroon ngayon ng confusion kung sino ang susundin at papaano susundin. Okay? We also have subordination of individual interest to general interest. Dapat daw, inuuna ninyo ang kapakanan ng lahat kesa yung personal na kapakanan mo. That is, lalo na para maiwasan yung mga pangungurakot sa loob ng kumpanya. And then, unity of direction, ibig sabihin, dapat daw, well-informed yung mga tao kung saan tayo papunta, anong gusto nating ma-achieve so that they are going to work according to what you have told them. Okay? And then, remuneration pay, dapat daw naman makatarungan at makatao yung pinapasweldo natin sa kanila. Kasi, there is a concept na kaya nagtatrabaho ang tao is para ma-improve at ma-sustain yung kanilang maayos na pamumuhay. Ngayon, kung nagtatrabaho sila sa inyo at hindi maayos ang kanilang pamumuhay, then you are not being a good leader and an employer to these people. And then next is centralization. When we talk about centralization, dapat daw sa isa lang nanggagaling yung lahat ng orders na i-implement, di ba? Although meron din kasi tayong tinatawag na decentralization. So pag centralization, nanggagaling lang sa isa. Pag sinabi nating decentralization, binibigyan natin ng authority. Halimbawa, may branch tayo sa Teresa, sa Morong, sa Antipolo. Kung sino yung leader doon, binibigyan natin sila ng authority na mag-decide. Pero these leaders are also being supervised ng mas mataas pa sa kanila. Okay? Next is scalar chain of authority. When we talk about scalar chain of authority, ibig sabihin nito, ito, masakit na ilalamunan ni Sir. Ibig sabihin ng scalar chain of authority, dapat daw nire-respeto natin at the same time yung bawat level ng isang organization, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, kung ikaw ay supervisor, there are some power and authority that is regarded to you. Kung ikaw naman ay isang department manager or general manager or president, there are certain level of authority regarded to you that everyone in the organization must recognize. Okay? And then we also have maintenance in order. Dapat daw yung disiplina, yung harmony, yung maayos na pamamalakad is laging na-observe. We also have stability and secure of tenure of workers. Bakit natin kailangan nire-regular ang mga empleyado? Bakit? Kasi para hindi sila laging nangangamba na kapag nawalan sila ng trabaho is mawawalan na rin sila ng pagkakakitaan and makakompromise yung kanilang mga pamilya. So let us always see the possibility of regularizing our employees so that yung kanilang moral ay tumataas din naman. Then, although hindi there are certain reasons kung bakit hindi nare-regular yung mga empleyado. We're going to talk about it a little later dito sa subject na to. And then, employee initiative, dapat daw nare-recognize natin yung mga magagandang ginagawa ng empleyado natin. Hindi porkat ikaw ang manager, hindi porkat ikaw supervisor, you have all the rights and the authority to dictate everything in an organization. Okay? And then promotion of team spirit or esprit de corps. When we say esprit de corps, dapat daw, we always try to motivate people in the best possible way so that they will identify themselves in the organization and work for the total improvement of the company. Okay? That is Henry Fayol's management principle. Okay? So this is your activity 5, interest result. Identify one business that you are familiar with, their operations. Kahit small business lang yan, kahit sari-sari store yan. From your observation of the business, identify 5 scenarios that you believe Fayol's management of principles are applied. 14 yon. So you're just going to identify 5. Okay? Okay, so let's move on with Max Weber bureaucracy. Ayan na, division of labor, yung sinabi na natin, why do we need to divide the labor? Simply because we are going to promote specialization. Kapag lagi niyang ginagawa, mas gumagaling siya sa trabaho na yon. Kapag nililipat-lipat mo siya, minsan nawawala yung specialization, di ba? Next is a hierarchical identification of job positions. Kailangan bang mag-create? Halimbawa, sales lady, 5 silang sales lady, hindi ibig sabihin isa gagawin nila. Etong produkto ang ibebenta, etong produkto, etong isa other product. Okay? So you need to identify the job positions. Tapos kung supervisor, rank and file, supervisor, manager, ano-ano yung mga exclusivity ng kanilang function sa isang kumpanya. And then detailed rules and regulation. Nakapaskal naman yan sa mga kumpanya, di ba? Ano yung mga rules and regulation na if in case you violate one, you will be sanctioned. Okay? And then impersonal connections with another. When we say impersonal, at least you be civil. Hindi nyo kailangan laging magkakabarkada kasi sometimes hindi naman talaga kayo magkakabibe sa coworker. Although it is encouraged na kayo ay magkakasundo, di ba? So, impersonal connections with one another, ibig sabihin, you know each other, you know the function of one another, and each one is responsible for something inside the organization. Okay? Question, doon lang tayo sa GC. Now, we're coming with activity 6. Based from the lecture daw, what do you realize are the importance of studying management in the success of a business? Yun na, hindi yun as. Okay? So, bahala kayo. Opinion nyo yan. Okay? And then, if you have no question, thank you. And if you have questions, dun lang mang tayo sa GC natin. Okay? So, no need to redo the activity. I'm just going to accept that and evaluate that, and then maybe Wednesday or next week I'm going to send you another video lecture. Okay? So, thank you everyone.